Hi guys, Gigi here. Today we're gonna start the video in another way. Today I was about to start making a video about BMW DPF problems and solutions when I dropped this guy in the engine bay. Of course, to take it out I had to take out the shield underneath. I had to take out two screws which broke, of course, and I had to fix everything, find the screwdriver, take a magnet, pick it up, whatever, and 1 hour later I am starting my video. So today's video, it's about this guy here, down here, and that's the diesel particle filter on the BMWs. And here we have the sensor that's measuring the pressure before the DPF, and here we have the sensor that's measuring the pressure after the DPF. As you can see, I have some wires that I had to remake here, and I will tell you the story of what and why and how. I started having the problem with my DPF about 2 years ago, and what I could see was that the DPF started to regenerate very often. About 250 kilometers I was driving on the highway, and then when I came out of the ramp I could see it requested a regeneration, and I drove back in the highway, drove forth and back, and everything was okay. And then one day later I could see it starting regenerating again. This is a well-known problem and well-discussed problem on many BMW forums, and many people face this issue, the same issue. What I did at that time, I replaced my DPF with a new one, an aftermarket one, and the problem went away for about 3 months, and then it started again. And at that time again, I took my old DPF, I've cleaned it, put it on, and everything was okay for about 1 year. Many people do the same as I do, get the DPF down and have it cleaned at a special company, and they put it on back and it's okay for a week or two or a month or two or something like that, and then the problem starts again. Well, the problem, it's not the DPF itself, it's the procedure that people are doing when replacing the DPF. One very important thing you have to do when you replace it. So when you replace the DPF, you must, it's a must. This thing, it's a must. You must reset the sensors for the DPF. The one in the front and one in the back. This is the front, in front of the DPF, and this is in the back of the DPF. That's very important when you clean the DPF, when you replace it, when you do whatever work on the exhaust system. It's very important to reset the sensors, the DPF sensors, the AGR, the MUF sensor, and everything that is related to the exhaust system. If you do not do that, the problem will appear again, like it did for me. And now, after 1 year, at that time, I have replaced this one and this one. I have replaced them both with new sensors and reset everything, and everything was perfect for 1 year. And 1 month ago, the problem started again. So, as I said, my problem started again a month ago, and what I did, I said, okay, let's clean these sensors. Maybe they are clogged or whatever. And I've took the pipe from this one, and I took the pipe from this one, and I took it out. And I noticed on the pressure pipe here, I noticed something wet. And I said, okay, I have a problem. It's oil from my turbo coming up the pipe and the hose, and my turbo, it's gone. And I started panicking. I said, okay, it doesn't matter, I will just clean them and put them back on. And what I did, in order to, what I did to clean this, I took one of these and put it in the pipe and started to clean it. Unfortunately, when I pull it out, only the stick came out and not the, yeah, I don't know what it's called in English, the bommel or whatever. Yeah, it remained in. I said, okay, now I'm very I have a problem, and I had to take out the old sensor, and because I had it, I kept the old sensor. I had to put that one on, and I will have to drive to the BMW dealer and get a new sensor and all that. And I would recommend you to change them. If you change the DPF or clean the DPF once every 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, and I will show you in a minute why. They're not so expensive. One of them was 61 euro and the other one was 69 euro, so it's not something that's very expensive if you think of the health of your car. Now I got my old sensor and put it in and reset all the adaptation values for the DPF and for the sensors and everything, and well, the car started driving normal. I had no more regenerations so often like before, and I said, okay, let's open the sensor, this one, and take out, let's see what's inside and how it's built, because if gases and oil will go inside here, maybe it's dirty inside. Well, when you take these 4 screws out, you will see something like this, but on top of this there is a aluminum membrane that's glued. It's sticky here, and here inside you will have a jelly-like substance. It's something that protects the circuitry inside, and when the membrane is pushing down, it will push on the sensor and it will generate the pressure. Well, on my sensor, 1 year old, that substance started to leak out. So it was not tight anymore here. This space here was not sealed hermetically. And the jelly-like substance started to leak out and come down on my pipe. So it was not my turbo that was gone. It was just the sensor that was bad. Why, I don't know. Factory problems, bad materials, whatever. This one I also had changed before with the Hella, and it was not in specs. I could see it fluctuating up and down all the time while I was sitting at the cross lights. The pressure after the DPF was just raising and going up and down and on all that. So check your sensors, buy the Beamer code tool and monitor it and see your pressure. It should not just jump up and down while you're idle or when you are sitting with only ignition on. I saw that also. Was sitting in the garage with the ignition on, and my pressure before the DPF was jumping up and down. But sitting, it was 1.06 bars, and waiting, and then suddenly it was 0.99 without me doing nothing, without me moving the car. It was just ignition on, no engine on, nothing. So it's important to check and know that your sensors are okay, and it's important to reset all the adaptation values in the ECU for the DPF sensors, EGR, air mass flow sensor and all that, because the ECU, it's calculating the soot mass you have in the DPF. It's not something that it's measurable. It's just calculating in regards to the pressure before and after the DPF. One of the guys I was reading on the forums, he also changed his ECU because he realized the barometric pressure sensor that's built into the ECU, it was not reading correctly the pressure, and then was comparing with the sensor we have here inside this. It was measuring the pressure compared with this sensor, and it was not right. So it had wrong readings. Of course, the car will calculate the soot mass, and it will regenerate if it thinks that the soot mass in the DPF is high. So this is how I realized that the sensor was not good. First I saw the oil-like substance in the pipe, and then I was sitting at the cross lights and saw that my pressure dropped from 1.04. I'm very close to the sea level, 1.04. It just suddenly dropped to 0.98 or 89 or something like that. I said, whoa, why it's doing this, because I'm just sitting doing nothing. And of course the pressure after the DPF dropped also, because it says, okay, I'm measuring before and after. If the pressure in the front is dropping, the pressure in after will also drop. So many people replace the DPF or clean it, or have companies that clean the DPF and reinstall it and everything, it's okay, but they forget one essential thing. Check the sensors and reset all the adaptation pressure, all the adaptation values in the ECU in regards to the pressure sensors in the DPF, because else it will work, but not as good as you expect, and it will take very long time for them to adapt to the new DPF, and it can get clogged again. Another thing that I realized, this is old, it's 13 years old. Here the wires got cracked, and I could see the wires inside the insulation. And at one point I was touching the wires and the sensors here, and I could see the value while monitoring the pressure, and I could see the pressure just dropping, ignition on, engine off, wiggling the wires, wiggling the head and all that, and then I just saw the pressure dropping or raising, because I was wiggling with the wires. So I just cut the wire, bought a new connector from the BMW, bought the pins and changed it. So if you have issues with the DPF, check your connectors. One important thing, but I cannot stress this enough. Reset the adaptation values of your sensors whenever you do something at the DPF or EGR or whatever. I've tried to do it with launch, and it's resetting one sensor at a time, but I recommend doing it with the tool that can do all resets at once, and then the car will go to sleep for 3 minutes, let it go to sleep. When it wakes up, it will start learning from zero, because it was resetting the values. Well, I hope this will help somebody in the future that had the same issues and same problems like I had in the past 2 years, when I was struggling and looking at the sensors and values and logging. And I think I've monitored all my DPF regenerations in the past 2 years, to be honest. When I thought, okay, now I have about 700 kilometers, it will regenerate, because I knew it will regenerate about when it has about 18, 19 grams soot ash in the soot in the DPF, or when it reaches about 750, 800 kilometers. And for me, I have mostly highway to work and back, and 800 kilometers, 750, 800 kilometers, it was the point where the DPF is regenerating. And I started looking at it, why it doesn't, when regeneration started happening about 250, 300 kilometers. I said, okay, that's not normal, at least not for me. I'm in the head, and yeah, that's me. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.